Anna Levine prose We Thought You'd Be Prettier by Laurie Notaro. I was trapped. Trapped at a crowded airport gate. People were sprawled, moaning, screaming, running, yelling, everywhere. We Thought You'd Be Prettier by Laurie Notaro. I couldn't move without touching somebody, and I don't like that. I had waited for 3 hours for that plane to arrive that would take me from New York to Seattle, and frankly, if I had been wearing more comfortable shoes, I could have hooked it and gotten there faster. At least it would have been more enjoyable than being crammed to a gate with my laptop, an elderly woman, and approximately 200 members of the same Japanese high school basketball team. Teenagers. Hundreds and hundreds of them. They looked like locusts, buzzing all around, creating havoc and mayhem. When the first group initially arrived at the gate, I found them cute and adorable. They all had matching shirts and luggage, and they were all so cheerful and loaded with boundless energy. Oh, do you see yourself? Some girls in the corner sang in Japanese. In time with their tune, they clapped their hands rhythmically along, playing some sort of game. Oh, do you see yourself? Then another group from the same league arrived at the gate and stuffed their luggage, duffels, and random loose basketballs in among the empty chairs. Their chatter grew louder, and more girls joined in the clapping game. But hey, they're kids. Let them have their fun. They're just having fun. Oh, do you see yourself? When the third group shuffled in, things started to get a little tight. And they all giggled louder. And it started getting hot in the gate. A basketball swung by my head. They were playing catch. The noise all boomed. Someone stepped on my foot. There was nowhere to walk. It was getting hard to breathe. Oh, do you see yourself? God, when is that plane going to get here? But then again, the plane getting here wasn't going to solve anything. Because they were all on it. They were all on it. Oh, do you see this? Oh my God, this is a nightmare. This is a complete nightmare. None of their coaches were doing anything to rein these basketball maniacs in because apparently they'd all been worn down and human nose by these teenage monsters. I saw their shell forms, but many of them were just shells, ravaged to the bone. Some of them were actually sleeping during all of this, from exhaustion. Either that or they had probably just died. I was trapped in an anime movie. Oh, do you see this? Even now, I'm amazed that I survived the ordeal. But then again, I shouldn't be celebrating yet, because I still had to make it through the flight. I'm not a giant. I'm not tall. Not statuesque. I'm not lanky. I'm short. Like a molar. I'm quite nearly a midget among men. And still, the seat in front of me suddenly lurched backward almost into my lap as I was crammed into a teeny tiny seat that only a newborn could find accommodating. I was absolutely furious. I was at a loss for words during this instance because in the first place, how can reclining your seat back an inch and 3/4 make any kind of difference in comfort? How can it? It simply can't. An inch and 3/4, however, is enough of a dent in my space to make things more cramped than a marathon runner with a potassium deficiency. Because a 1 3/4 inch bite all across the board was a significant percentage when I only had about 6 inches of personal airline space to begin with. And you know, if I can be frank, if I didn't care about that inch and 3/4, I would have hit Cinnabon, Pretzelmania, CPK, Paradise Bakery, and Margaritaville in a rampant maniacal carbohydrate binge before I boarded. So see, I cared. I cared about that inch and 3/4. Which, if you multiply it by the 17.2 inch width of a standard seat, equals 21.35 inches, which in my book is a big, hungry, man-sized bite out of my personal airline space. It's as big as a baby. And this was all compounded by the fact that the woman in front of me, the woman who had decided to steal my space by choosing to recline, was the size of a circus peanut. You could cram her and her 23 members per family into a Crayola box. And I know this because I saw her at the check-in, and remarked to myself that someone was playing with the Lord Farquhar puppet. I wondered where they got one because I wanted one too. Until I realized it was a real-life little lady. And now here she was, all knowing 2 feet of her, reclining very confidently into my lap, while her feet weren't even touching the ground. Personally, I think reclining needs to be outlawed, because if the passenger in front of me takes for himself, he takes away from me. I paid for that space. In retaliation, I believe seats should be fully equipped with a guess again lazy boy button on the backside of every headrest to automatically shoot these facehuggers back into the upright position. Or at the very least, there has to be some sort of consent document signed by both parties involved in the recline in order for the action to take place. If no such agreement has been made, then the person being reclined upon has the complete and total right to make a citizen's arrest or to exact some form of physical retribution. I mean, honestly, I wasn't all that much bigger than Thorne Farquhar, but I need that space. And I got so angry that I started searching frantically for my complimentary airline staff mix for a sharp friendship or broken pretzel that I could throw at her. I figured if something like that can almost kill the former president, I might have some chance of doing damage to my recliner. I finally found a rice snack the approximate shape of the spearhead, and just as I was about to shoot it toward her tiny pea skull, a burst of turbulence knocked it out of my hand and onto the ground. I had to uncross my legs to get it, a maneuver that should strictly be confined to an intermediate to advanced yoga class. But as a result, I discovered the recliner's mortal enemy, the kicker. Funny, it seems as though she liked having her kidneys beat on like there was at a bongos at a Jimmy Cliff concert almost as much as I liked studying for female pattern baldness while her coconut head was in my lap. Next time though, I'm saying yes to Cinnabon, and getting seconds on the Mexican food too, just in case I need backup. And I mean backup.